That's my name. Don't wear it out.
Oh, I didn't know that was possible. I'm sorry. I've been using it so haphazardly.
Next time you'll know.
I'll take it easy on your name. I'll say Dalla if I need to say something, because then I'm only using part of it.
Exactly. We don't want to wear out the whole name. So
right. Then you get uneven wear, though.
I'll feel like just half of a person at that point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like half, more like 20%, really.
You're like in those census where you have 1.25 kids.
Yeah.
That's true.
You're the 0.25 kid.
I am the 0.25 kids. This is great. Hey everyone, welcome to the JRPG Pursuit, a podcast about all things JRPGs, from the games we play to the games we collect and everything in between. My name is Abdallah.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Branden.
And today we've got a fun topic for you. But before we get into that, I want to spend some time to say thank you to all our members out there who are part of the Discord and are joining us in like just fun conversations and are helping us in all the different ways. It's been a great time, a blast. And if you are interested as well, please join. We'd appreciate that. But with that, I think we should get started with some fun topic for today.
Yes, I think a certain list has been making the rounds, made a little bit of a splash in the community.
Yeah, for those who, I don't know, are just not aware or haven't looked on the internet in the last week or so, IGN dropped a list of the best JRPGs of all time, top 25. And it's been a little controversial. Like, there's a lot of people talking about it and kind of giving their own thoughts. So we figured we'd kind of lay in on that as well today and discuss that specific list and see where we as ourselves would, change it up a bit. What do we think is the most actual best JRPGs of all time? So I think we should get started.
I agree.
Let's take a look at the list first. Let's kind of get into that and just kind of like see what they're offering and give our feedback on that.
For sure. I think the overview of the list, it looks like they limited themselves to one game per series. So not everything's like Final Fantasy dominant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am glad that is at least the case.
Yeah, I think it adds more variety, which is good, especially for people trying to get into the genre. If they just see a wall of Final Fantasy, like they're going to think there's nothing else, being offered, which is not the case.
Yeah,
yes.
I wholeheartedly agree with the, one entry per series criteria. And I think we should stick to that as well.
I agree.
That's, if we want to do a one-to-one comparison, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I do question some of these choices. And I will say there's not a game on here that I think is a bad game or that I don't like.
No, yeah.
There's only, honestly, one. I mean, there's a typo in their list. I don't know if you guys spotted it. Tell me when you spot it.
The Draogun
Quest?
Draogun Quest, yeah. That's a very unfortunate typo.
I think they want to put like Dragoon, Legend of Dragoon.
Maybe they were thinking Legend of...
They just fused the two.
Yeah. But so there's some interesting choices on here that I think... despite being very good or even great games, I would say don't belong.
Yeah.
And this is by no
don't
means
belong
meant as...
in like a definitive list, right?
In a definitive list. Like I look at a game like number 19, Bravely Default 2. Bravely Default 2 is great. I had a blast with Bravely Default 2. The issue that I have with it being on a list like this is Bravely Default 2 only exists because it is a derivative of Final Fantasy, right? Classic Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
It is an extension of classic Final Fantasy gameplay mechanics. The story is fine. I mean, it's not like it's far from the best story that I've experienced in video games. It's fine. Like I enjoyed it, but to put it even in a top 25 list of all time JRPGs feels strange to me. And that's from a fan of the game.
Yeah, I also suspect they didn't choose just the first Bravely Default, which in a way is it helped revive the genre on the 3DS. But we're not seeing a lot of handheld games in here. There's a couple, but nothing on the 3DS.
Yeah.
True.
I've just noticed some.
And I'm seeing a theme of that on here, like just like it's like they're picking a game out of that specific series that I would say like maybe isn't I wouldn't say is the best of that. So like, for instance, I think I'm going to be a little controversial with this, but like Persona 5 Royale, like great game, but I don't think it's the best Persona in my opinion.
Right.
Sure.
And all these games might not just be like the best game in their respective series. They could have been games that were monumental, maybe for JRPGs as a whole. So,
but it is a list that says best JRPGs of all time. So
yeah, but what does all time mean? Right.
Right. And like, the way we classify the word best, the way we classify these games as best, I think that also can vary depending on what you're talking about. Yeah.
But for Persona 5 Royal, like that was a monumental game, and I think in inviting a lot of modern JRPG fans because it's been the most popular like in the past decade for sure.
I would say like if you were saying best and the most influential and the game that really broke through, like and got everybody involved, like enjoying Persona
on board
would be Persona 5. Like that is it was a perfect game to get everybody involved and on board and enjoying that series. And like it is a wonderful game.
It might not be our favorite or we think is the best, but it is like a substantial game that I can understand why it would be chosen.
Exactly.
Maybe as number 2, I don't know, but
I'm surprised Grandia 2 is on there as like outside of like
surprised too.
Between that and like the first Grandia game. I think like the first Grandia game is more like beloved in comparison, but I don't know.
Maybe, but I think there's also we have to consider, the age of whoever formed this, right? Like if they were a bit younger, Grandia 2 may have been more influential if they were on the PS2 at that time. Maybe they didn't play so much PS1. That might explain the Final Fantasy choice here was being Final Fantasy X and not something like 7 or 6.
Like, what is the oldest game on here on this list? Pokemon Gold and Silver, right?
Probably,
Earthbound.
Was it
Earthbound?
Where is it?
Earthbound,
you're right. Yeah,
but the thing is, that's on the NSO, so it's not like inaccessible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering, I think the age of the editors or writers or whoever put this together is gonna be a factor for sure.
Even if they're 30 though.
The kind of exclusion, like if you take out games that are mobile, that are handheld rather, because they're on the Switch, like let's not consider those handheld games. There's only 2, right? There's Golden Sun and the Pokemon choice that they had.
Yes.
So that's
but the thing is Golden Sun is also an NSO. So this reviewer or whoever formed this list could have played it on NSO.
Yeah. So that may be.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I know that they made a video alongside of this list, which I didn't watch.
I haven't watched that one yet. So
maybe they explain the methodology more, but this is just looking at this list fresh. Trying to figure out what they were thinking.
There are some games on here that I can look at, and like we were saying before with Persona 5 Royal, it may not be one of our favorites, but it did bring a lot of people in.
It did, yeah.
I feel like there's games on here that are more objectively speaking the better game in their series, but that I don't connect with, right? Like Octopath Traveler 2. Octopath Traveler 2, I think, is everything Octopath Traveler 1 wanted to be and didn't quite achieve.
Yep.
I don't care for Octopath Traveler 2. I loved Octopath Traveler. I got bored by Octopath Traveler 2. Yeah. And it's complicated. Like I have complicated feelings about it. Like I fully acknowledge that it does do everything better, basically. Everything better than the first game. But the first game resonated with me personally on a much grander scale. Now, having said all that, do I think either of them belong on a top 25 list? No, probably not. Personally, I don't think so. Yeah. But, it's just interesting how the choices that they made are... Some of them seem like the popular choice. Some of them do seem a little out there, though.
Yeah.
I think that it's a fusion of both. They maybe have looked up like what are the most popular JRPGs to help, feel like their opinion might go over well with the community. Like I'm surprised Lost Odyssey is on here because not a lot of people had, the Xbox 360 to play JRPGs back then.
Right.
So I'm curious if they themselves played it or this is just through the grapevine, everyone saying, oh, this is such a great game that's underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you've played it, like I would say it might even end up higher on the list than it is like
presently at
presently,
number 21.
Yeah, like I would put it over like
on the audio. We'll try to remember to list the numbers that these are if you haven't seen those yourself.
Should we say should we go through the list and just go like
don't you Spitfire?
Let's
do a quick list. We could do it in chunks of 5, Phil, so it's not one person has to do all.
Yeah.
I'll start it off then.
You can start off.
All right, at 25 we got Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, 24 Breath of Fire 3, 23 Golden Sun, 22 Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch, 21 Lost Odyssey.
Okay.
So
yeah. So I mean, how do we feel about these games?
Okay.
I was pleasantly surprised to see Ni no Kuni here.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense they listed the first one because I feel like that had the best reception overall among the community. There's, of course, people may prefer the second one because of the combat, but I think story-wise, people tend to go for the first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm one that enjoyed the second one significantly more. I don't remember much about the first one. Obviously, it's beautiful. And
it's a beautiful game.
Yeah, the presentation alone makes it worthy of consideration. I don't know if it necessarily makes it worthy of inclusion, but definitely of consideration for sure.
Yeah.
And I also noticed with SMT, like I know people have their favorites. Mine would be 4, but that's a handheld game, so maybe that's why it's on this list.
Not easily accessible by.
I don't think they're going by accessibility because
definitely not.
I don't know. The only one that's not accessible is Lost Odyssey. I feel like all the rest
Xenogears is not like
Lost Odyssey actually I think you can play digitally on an Xbox.
On an Xbox, yeah, if you have it.
But if you have an Xbox.
If you have an Xbox.
And Xenogears, you're right, is not.
We should consider accessibility for this list because we could just people have emulation.
Not. We should definitely not. I think we're just hypothesizing how did they go about making their choices? Sure. Yeah. I think that accessibility probably played a role because if they are, as we're guessing, on the younger side, that's going to be...
Pokemon Gold Silver is not accessible.
No, that's true.
Presently.
It's not.
No, it's not. Exactly, yeah. So I imagine they didn't go by that angle. I think they just chose the games that they chose.
Which honestly is what everyone does, right? When they
exactly. I mean, everyone's got their own opinions, and I'm sure, it really goes into how they grew up with certain games and what really kind of hit them hard. It might not be for us per se, but I'm not going to knock them for loving games. They're all JRPGs. None of these games are bad.
Yeah. So they're all good games.
They're all good games.
And this just shows that because of the ones that they may be missing here, there's just so many great other JRPGs out there that people can enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
Highly respect.
Do you guys want to tackle the next 5?
Yeah, we got at number 20, we've got Star Ocean: The Second Story, 19, Bravely Default 2, 18, Live Alive, 17, Tales of Vesperia, and 16, Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay.
So how do we feel here?
I think I feel like Star Ocean is right.
I think it is the best Star Ocean game.
It is the best Star Ocean.
There's not a lot of sci-fi JRPGs on this list, so it needs to be represented here.
Exactly. And I think this place that it's in, I don't know, I think Star Ocean could maybe be a little bit high. I would say I would like it more than Bravely Default 2 or I don't know. Live Alive probably. Just because of it's truly a classic and it's as a game. And it's
nice that they did a remake recently.
Exactly. I am a little bit Live Alive is good. I don't know if it's 18 on a list of best RPGs good. There's plenty of other, I think even if you look at the era of SNES games, there are plenty of SNES games that could probably fit on this list more so than Live Alive as being influential.
And even one that we didn't get back in the day, we didn't get Terranigma.
Exactly.
Maybe more deserving here than Live Alive. I don't know.
Yeah, I would put a Quintet, game in here other than Live Alive. I think Live Alive is a great game, but I think in terms of the best games coming out of that
18, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tales of Vesperia is good. It's even very good. as far as the Tales series goes.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would consider it the best Tales of game.
I lean more towards Abyss, not saying I've played it, but from what I've heard.
I would say Abyss is a contender. I would probably lean towards Grace's F.
Grace's F is good, yeah.
Like the epitome of everything that Tales does and does well.
And then
so Vesperia is not
a Rise, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's some subset of the like classic fans that don't care for Arise.
Yeah,
sure.
But yeah, I mean, Vesperia is not a bad choice for if you're going to include a Tales of game in this list. But
it is beloved.
I don't know if it's the one I would choose, but yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it is beloved enough, but I don't know if it's like my favorite out of Tales.
And then Kingdom Hearts 2,
I'm excited to play, is all I'll say.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is definitely the one that I would put on the list.
I think that makes sense here.
Yeah, so I have no problem with Kingdom Hearts 2.
I'm just wondering, Kingdom Hearts 2 being one of the best, like, would it be further along the list?
I think it should be a little higher.
Yeah, like
I think this might be my nostalgia speaking. This was my first JRPG outside of Pokemon.
Right.
Yeah.
I played it a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, I still feel very positively about it.
Okay.
But as we work on our list, we'll see.
We'll figure
see where that falls.
Where it sends. Okay. Emily.
All right. I guess we'll go to the next 5. So at 15, we have Grandia 2. 14, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. 13, Xenogears. 12, Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door. And 11, Octopath Traveler 2.
I've got thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were saying maybe Grandia would deserve it more than Grandia 2.
I didn't say that.
I said that.
Well, Abdallah said that. I have limited memories about both, although I do feel like I enjoyed Grandia 2 more.
Grandia 2 is a great game. I think Grandia 1 is more
refined in multiple ways. It maybe not have like the more the charm of the first game in some respects, but it improved on other respects.
I feel like Grandia 1 is more beloved in like the retro scene in terms of people who love Grandia. Like they usually speak, it's more spoken of like Grandia is a very like, it's like there with like the Lunar series. People usually talk about Grandia in hand with that kind of like nostalgic view of like that era. And so I feel like Grandia, like I feel the first one would have been more, I guess, fitting, but that's my opinion at the end of the day. So,
well, we don't have a ton of. Well, how many PS2 games do we have versus PS1 games?
We don't have as many PS1 games, I think.
So I think that also may speak to why this list is maybe someone.
It is definitely skewed. Like you don't have a lot of SNES games.
There's only 3,
and a very few PS1 games. You have like what, 1 Star Ocean, Xenogears, and Suikoden 2.
I don't know. The more I look at this list, guys, the more I'm like, I do feel like they were going with games that generally they have been able to play in their adulthood, because even with Pokemon Gold and Silver as an outlier, I could definitely see a 30-year-old editor like having played Pokemon Gold and Silver when they were 5 and being like, oh, we got to have a Pokemon game on there. That was the best one. I don't know. I look at like Grandia 2, like you would put Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth on this list. I haven't played it.
I understand why Infinite Wealth was chosen over the first Like a Dragon.
Exactly. That's what I was going to get to next, is that like Infinite Wealth is good, but I feel like a Dragon, the first game, is more like
monumental in that series.
Exactly. It was a very monumental shift
to be interested in Yakuza.
Exactly. And it is not like it's a monumental and not a good game. It's like actually really good, really well done game. So like, their choice of Infinite Wealth is pretty interesting.
Maybe there was a recency bias here. I just played it.
That's what I'm wondering.
I feel like
Xenogears, I obviously I'm not going to argue with
it
Xenogears
needs to be on this
inclusion.
list.
Like
it needs to be higher.
Very strongly about Xenogears, obviously.
There are people who say they don't like Xenogears.
There are,
in the JRPG space.
But it doesn't mean it's not one of the best JRPGs of all time.
Yeah.
So that's my view of that. And that's probably a very strong view, but whatever.
There's people out there that don't like the Beatles. So, I mean, like,
that's true.
It doesn't mean they're not one of the best. Yeah.
There's just people that are wrong. Like, that's okay. It's okay. That's okay.
It's okay to be wrong sometimes. And you know what? We'll still love you for it.
Everybody's wrong sometimes. That's okay.
Exactly.
And then, like, so right. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is very good. I think I would say Super Mario RPG is better.
Yeah. Both could be on this list, though.
They both technically could be, but I would say that
compare this to the first Paper Mario versus Thousand Year Door.
So here's where it gets tricky. I would personally consider all of the Mario role-playing games to be of the same series because of their shared DNA. So Super Mario RPG was made, and then the path forked, and you have a lot of the team that made Mario RPG went on to make the Mario and Luigi games. And then Intelligent Systems that does?
I think so.
Who does Paper Mario?
I don't think it's them.
I think they used to.
Whoever it is that split off.
They don't do it now. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They used to do it.
And did the Paper Mario sub-series.
Yeah.
So to me, they all feel like they're of the same DNA.
Would you say the same thing about SMT and Persona?
Ooh.
That's a little bit trickier for me, because I do think Persona has developed an identity.
I think it's because also the fan base of both of those are very distinctly like.
I don't know. There's some overlap, but
it depends on how you look at it. It depends on how you
you're
look at it.
Unless you're talking to a Shin Megami Tensei fan, like they're going to be like Persona's
if you're talking about gameplay, they all use some form of the press turn combat system, right?
Yeah.
So if you're looking at it from the gameplay perspective, then I would say they are all of the same.
We could throw in Metaphor Revantaggio too in there.
It's also in there.
It's already in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's technically 3 Atlas games on here,
which is a little ridiculous.
They all have very similar gameplay. So I don't think they're considering gameplay. Obviously, they're not considering
clearly
gameplay.
They're not.
They're seeing Persona and SMT as separate series. I think the SMT and Persona shares a lot of DNA in a way that's very similar to
also Xenogears and Xenoblade. Sorry. To be the devil.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. I feel like Xenogears and Xenoblade are distinguished enough because of like just being
the gameplay is so radically different that
so
it's almost
different, and it's such a different experience.
Well, it's like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy. They have similarities, right?
Yeah,
but they're not.
Well, they share icon. So Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy share iconography.
Yeah.
SMT and Persona share gameplay, and
some iconography too.
Yeah, the demons. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
the
true.
demons are all the same for the most part.
The same, basically.
Yeah,
but Xenoblade and Xenogears share the slightest of story connectivity.
Yeah.
Whereas the rest of it is just so radically different. I don't actually mind Xenoblade and Xenogears being on the list together. The others I might,
but
huh?
I said I don't either. I think it's appropriate.
I feel like they're radically
that we
different
talked about.
enough.
I might feel like okay, Metaphor. It's a different. It's not a spin-off of SMT like Persona is. It's not.
It's using a similar model.
Connected, it's a similar battle system. I guess I'm okay with that being here in addition to SMT. I don't know. It's a tricky question. We're gonna have to answer it.
I wasn't sure how to answer it either.
Yeah, I would say I feel like we need in our list, as we say, I feel
we need to have defined boundaries.
Too. I think there's too much Atlas happening here, and Atlas is great, but I don't think that
we could say the same thing about Square Enix, though. There's a lot of Square Enix here.
Yeah.
And a lot of Nintendo.
Square Enix. Oh, granted, some of these games are pre-Square Enix days.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pre-merger. So like Star
That's
Ocean
true.
Second Story is an Enix game. And so is Xenogears is a Square game. So
Chrono Trigger is sort of. I mean, it wasn't published by Enix, but it was a Dragon Quest crossover. So.
It was a crossover, but published by Squaresoft.
Squaresoft, yeah.
So, but I think like Persona 5, like a Shin Megami Tensei, might be a little too close to home. I think maybe, like in terms of like being too similar.
Maybe I might still.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how
okay with SMT and Persona.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence about Metaphor being so new. But
True. That's because of the recency.
But we'll
bias.
get to that hurdle in a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Dallah, why don't you hit us with the next 5?
Yeah.
Okay. And we're on...
Unless you guys had something to say about Octopath
10.
Traveler 2. I already said my piece on it earlier.
I think what you said was perfect.
Okay. Octopath, I think, yeah, we're good there. So for number 10, we have Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. 9, you have Pokemon Gold Silver. 8, Suikoden 2. 7, Earthbound. And then number 6 is Dragon Quest 11.
Dragon?
I'm saying Dragon because we talked about that. This typo is... I cannot get
he's
past...
sounding at the typo.
Yeah. The typo...
DRAOGON.
Like, IGN, for God's sake, you have an editors. Why?
Please.
Yeah, it's a team of editors, I
There's
think,
not that many
made this.
words here.
I know.
Please.
Like, it is just a list of 25 things. At least just don't. This looks bad, guys.
It's embarrassing.
A little
It's
unprofessional
embarrassing.
here.
It's embarrassing. But anyways,
They probably fixed it by now. If you were to find it
so.
on their site, I bet you they fixed it by now.
I'm sure they re-uploaded, but this is like something we pulled from Twitter. So
From Twitter, yeah.
The original.
so awkward. So yeah, what do you guys think about this list? How do you think about Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky?
Well, I have been a pretty vocal opponent of Trails. I have hated Trails for my
All
entire
of us hate it. It's
Sure.
our least
Yeah.
favorite game.
I cannot believe it's on
dumbest-
this
Why would it
list.
make this list? A disgrace.
I know.
Yeah, it actually makes me angry in a way that nothing has.
I'm physically going to throw up from anger.
I threw up in my mouth. I swallowed it down. I swallowed it back down for the podcast.
You're a champ.
But I'm mad. No, obviously Trails in the Sky, baby, move it up. If anything, right?
I know. I'd
say move it up.
Both first chapter and second chapter, I'm assuming.
That's how I would consider it. Yeah,
Probably
that's
not
how
the
I'd
third.
consider it.
But at
The
least
third,
the first two.
I would say Trails in the Sky FCSC as a unit.
Which they were technically the first games. I
I'm
think
actually-
the same thing Golden Sun, right? I'm assuming that's both of the first games.
Golden Sun, and
I don't know. I
think
think
they're
for
thinking
Golden
that.
Sun-
Could be the first one.
Yeah.
I don't think they're thinking that, but I agree that they are like of two of a piece.
They broke it up into 2 games, basically, right?
Yeah.
With those
Yeah.
cliffhangers. So
right.
I'm actually pleasantly surprised that they put Trails in the Sky in here. Just like
it's been having hype lately. Look at all the re-releases and
This is true.
localizations.
There is definitely hype
we are
there.
a very dedicated fan base here.
Yeah,
I'm
I can't
surprised
wait
they
to
put it
experience
so-
the story of the Sword Saint, of the
Maybe they're
famous
the newly
Sword Saint
initiated.
Cassius Bright.
swords.
This IGN person's newly initiated, maybe.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, because to put it on this list, they must have played them. Hopefully,
Well,
I
no.
hope so.
I mean, I hope so, but they don't necessarily have to.
That's
play
true.
Them. Some
They
of these
don't
can
have
be
to play
played.
it.
They could see how influential and how dedicated. Like it's a
That's true.
longest running like connected series.
yeah, that's
I think
true.
it's safe to say.
I'm surprised they put it this high. I mean, personally, we would put it higher, but I'm just saying, surprised
Surprised that
like,
they're like
they did.
normies.
Yeah,
if this
exactly.
is IGN, they're like the normie gamers, right? So
Exactly.
it is strange.
Depends on who's writing it, right? They
Like, I'm surprised they
invite
put
a-
that ahead of like Kingdom
person.
Hearts and things like that. Like that
I am
seems like the
surprised, for
easier
sure.
choice for like people who like aren't really like tuned in to these like
Yeah.
niche areas to put that. So
Yeah.
I'm pleasantly surprised. Pokemon Gold Silver. Is this your favorite Pokemon?
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Though, like red and blue are iconic. I could see why that might be chosen over gold and silver, even though gold
Yeah.
and silver are my favorite personally. But
I
I was
agree.
in that 30 or some generation bracket when this was the new game when I got to play it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I feel you on that as well. Is that like, I don't know. You could say, red and blue is the most influential. I mean, is
Yeah.
big deal. Gold and silver, I think maybe are like, they're just inherently better.
They're just better. There's
well,
so much
they-
more
they-
content too. So
Yeah, I was going to say they have everything of the first game has and more.
do.
So it's like
they do.
Yeah, exactly.
if you're going to pick one or the other, I feel like gold and silver
Or
kind of wins
you might
out.
They
as
could have
well.
just done crystal. That's the definitive one.
Yeah.
It's true. I am surprised they didn't choose,
Crystal.
one of those
Yeah.
crystals and stuff like that. But I mean, whatever. This probably is the one that is nostalgic to them, which
Yeah.
is not a bad thing.
Like me.
Exactly.
So Suikoden 2.
Suikoden 2.
As an outsider looking in, I could see why they would choose this one because this is the one that's highly praised. I think out of all of them.
I agree
Yeah.
with it. Yep. I think it's a perfect choice. I think from the
No
Suikoden,
notes.
yeah, Suikoden games, this is the most iconic one.
Same with
Is-
Earthbound. I can see why that's here.
Yeah. I can see Earthbound. That's a game.
It's a game.
I think probably if from what I understand, I haven't played it yet, but if Mother 3 had ever come out over here, probably Mother 3 would be in its place. I think people would.
I agree.
Would make the argument that it's everything Earthbound was again and more. It's like just the magnum opus of Itoi. But yeah, Earthbound is magnificent. And
yes.
Dragon Quest 11. I could see why that's on here because
it is my favorite Dragon Quest, so I would not object to it being on.
Yeah.
I feel like you need a Dragon Quest game.
You have
8 is also very good from what I understand. I played a bit of it back on the PS2.
8 was really popular on the PS2. It was a very big deal. It was like the first breakout
big
one
in Japan, right?
Yeah,
that still the most
3's kind of newly big over here. Like I think it sold really well.
Yeah, it did really well.
It's good. It doesn't have a story. That's the thing for me. Like Dragon Quest 11 has a story, and characters, and 3 does not.
If you want to think about influential, the earlier ones make sense, right? But the better game is probably 11.
I would say
I think 2 is better than 3. Honestly, that's why. And I know that's blasphemy, and people are mad.
Once the remake or remaster's out, we'll see.
Then we can, we can.
Maybe they'll change their tune.
Maybe. Yeah, I have no problem with it. I think 11 is a perfect choice in this case because it was a very big deal and it sold a ton. Like it was especially in here in the West. Like
people rebought it on the Switch.
Yeah, and Dragon Quest 8 was a big deal here, but not as much as Dragon Quest 11. I think it's a bigger selling.
This got a lot of people into turn-based.
Yeah, it was very popular and it's a great game. So, no notes there. All right.
Well, should we hit the final 5?
Yeah,
let's do the final 5.
We got at number 5, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. At number 4, Metaphor Refantatio. At number 3, Final Fantasy X. Number 2, Persona 5 Royal. And number 1, of course, Chrono Trigger. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, to me, is the best. I think, Emily, you prefer 2.
I can acknowledge 3 is probably the better game.
Yeah.
It was definitely at least the better tutorialized game.
The more refined.
Yeah, because I actually understood the
very
combat.
Refined.
So it wins out for me just on that alone. I also really I resonated with both 2 and 3's stories pretty equally, pretty close to equal.
I think 3 is more relatable of a story. I think you can put yourself in that a little bit more. I think just slightly.
3, I did connect with the characters a bit more in 3.
Emotionally, I think it was more
I got
connecting.
teary-eyed, which is rare.
Yeah, 3 is you feel more connected to those characters. So
I got Emily in her feels.
I did.
There you go.
Especially that ending.
Exactly. So
now, I think I think if a Xenoblade game was on here, I would probably put 3. I guess.
I don't know because Project Raincoat was Xenoblade 1.
But it's not the best game though. It is influential in the sense of that game is what everybody fought for that game. But if you had to pit it up against Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3,
I think it's good.
It's good, but I think 3 takes the cake at the end of the day.
It doesn't hold up. It doesn't match up to 2 for me. I do think it's very good, but I was pleasantly, at least from the gameplay perspective, I really liked 2 and 3 more. I don't know.
I think the combat system's better in 2 and 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. I was thinking for 1, it's the story and we never had a game like that before, prior to that release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did as a Xenogears fan, I did like how certain scenes made me squee internally, that was appreciated after all these years.
Yeah. And
but we'll see what we do, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see how we do it.
And how highly we want to place it.
Yeah, it's going to be a negotiation between the 3 of us of where this is going to go. So you might get a little feisty, guys. So
we might have to bust out the rock paper scissors.
Exactly.
I don't want to do it, but we might have to.
Metaphor Refantatio, we already talked about that.
Yeah. I don't know why it's at 4.
I don't know why that's at 4. I feel like it is a great game. I did enjoy it. It was my, game.
It's a little
of the
preemptive,
year.
I think, to put it there.
Yeah, if you want to have the recency bias game on your top 25 list, I think you put it at 24 or 25.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think you
my
stick
thing.
it up near the top.
Because like there's so many like just incredible classics that like
it didn't change anything. It's a good story, but it's lifting from Persona, right? Like the gameplay and everything.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah,
it's the kind of thing like I want to reevaluate it like 10 years from now.
Yeah.
It needs time. We got to let it.
It needs to simmer. It needs to cook. It needs to like. You need to sit down and think about it and like pit it up against the greats later down the line.
That's why I say like I don't want to not acknowledge the feelings that people might have about Metaphor, because I do think it's great, and that's why I say sure, it can be on your top 25 of all time list.
Yeah.
Put it near the end. Put it near the end. Just
I will also say that there's a good chance we're going to get a revised version, like a royal version.
True.
That will be even better. So it's a little, I think, jumping the gun here.
We know how
base
Atlas
game
do.
on 4.
I don't
know how they do.
I don't want it. The game is already long enough.
Well, if they make it a little less grindy at the end, I'll be happy.
That I spent too much time trying to like. I had so much free time on the calendar at the end of that game that I was just like trying to power through that. So, it has its moments. It is a great game though. Whether I put 4 is a bit much, I think so. Best game of all time, but
Final Fantasy X, guys. What do we think about Final Fantasy X? Not only its placement on the list, but it being the only representation of Final Fantasy on the list.
I think it makes sense for Final Fantasy to be in the top 5. Now,
certainly.
Yeah, I feel like Final Fantasy should be in the top.
10, is 10 the best representative of the series? I don't know.
I'm surprised they didn't go with like 7. Because usually 7 is like the go-to for most people, saying like that's the best.
And then Final Fantasy fans, a lot of them like 6 a lot.
Yeah, I feel like 6 is.
I think this is yet more evidence of like the age of the people who made the
person
choices.
who did this. Yeah,
I think 100%.
If they were 13, 14, if they were 13 or 14 when 10 came out, that's going to be a pretty iconic, formative game for them.
Exactly.
I think 10 is great. I think 10 is definitely like.
Yeah. I want to actually
finish Ojima as a writer. I love his writing.
Yeah.
I love the combat. I do like the characters. I like that Bender plays Waka. I think Bender as Waka is great.
That's so true.
Really appreciate that.
And I feel like we've talked a lot about Final Fantasy X in very like, high regard and in depth as well. As, like,
I do. Yeah.
And we love Final Fantasy X, but I don't know if it's like the best Final Fantasy game. Like if you're going to choose one Final Fantasy game to put on this list, I don't know if Final Fantasy X is going to be it. It can be like, you can definitely put like a strong.
Yeah. For sure. But I think if we want to go back to what was the big game changer in just the gaming space as a whole, I think it has to be 7.
Yeah.
7 is, I think there's a much stronger argument for 7 to be on the list than 10, despite the fact that I love them both.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think 7 is just, it like created Final Fantasy fans, like a whole generation of Final Fantasy fans who like tried that game for the first time. I think it just like it is such a big deal of like a game. And even though like to me Final Fantasy 7 isn't necessarily my favorite, I still love it, but I think as a game, if you're going to put it like a Final Fantasy game on a best games of all lists, I think that one like probably deserves it from that perspective.
I just realized that on our best our list here, we definitely have IGN.
JRPG Pursuit.
Yeah, I don't have easy access to our logo, so you know what? I'm just going to cover this up, pretend like it's not there.
We are not.
You could do that post, whatever. Just add it there.
Oh, I was thinking we would have this live. I guess we don't have to do it live. Anyway.
Well, when you import it in, you could just then add a thing over it. It should be okay.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good
point. True. It is not going to move.
Editing tips for you all here.
Magic.
So that's how the magic happens. It's all smoke and mirrors behind the scenes.
Yeah. Fix it in post.
Fix and post, and let's move our arrows out of the way.
Yeah, let's get rid of that little
The search elements box.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Okay. And we're back at it, people. All right. So Final Fantasy X, I think we all agree some sort of way.
Persona 5 Royal.
Persona 5 Royal. Do you think it deserves number 2?
No.
Not at all.
I agree. I think it's a wonderful game.
Should we replace it with 4 is the question, I think.
That's you'll have to find out as we talk through this and build our list.
I have thoughts and feelings and emotions about it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And then finally Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger.
Yeah. That's about right, I think.
No complaints.
I mean, if we want to put Chrono Trigger at number 1, I've long called it my favorite game of all time.
Yeah. It's like one of the perfect games you could play, right? Just
it's darn near perfect. Darn near perfect.
It's conceived, everything. Like
it's
very near.
It's very close to perfection.
I honestly, it's like I said, it may be my favorite game of all time. I don't know if I could say that it's the best JRPG of all time. I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, I have to think about it too. Because, I mean, as an influential game, it is probably the most influential game of all time in terms of the JRPG space.
I think so.
But, yeah, we'll talk through it. So I think we should get started with the list.
I think we should just add games. We don't have to necessarily put them in number order right now.
Okay.
Just which ones we would take from the IGN's list onto ours, and which ones we would maybe leave off.
Or switch
and then
up.
We could reorder it later.
That's a good way to start. Yeah, let's go through their list and say, okay, these ones definitely need to be on ours as well.
Okay.
So, do we want SMT 3?
No.
I'm okay leaving that one off.
I'm okay with leaving it off, too.
And
it's
probably replacing it. We could put the replacement for it now, so it's a little bit easier that we don't forget about it. But
yeah, if we're gonna think of Persona and SMT as being of a kind,
I think they could be separate. It's okay.
Okay,
so we do want to keep a SMT game in there.
If we want to have an SMT game on here, it's the only one I've played. I do love it quite a bit. I know you've played 4. Dalla, have you played any of them extensively?
I played Nocturne. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah. I've also played the spinoffs, or a couple of them.
Yeah, I've not played too many of them.
But 3 is influential. It's very atmospheric. It's dark.
It is. We also don't have to have an SMT game on here.
I'm okay with not, honestly.
It's okay if we don't.
SMT games, but I don't think they're on my echelon of I would probably pick other games out of SNES life or the PS1 life to fit there.
Okay, we could tentatively leave it off and then add it back in later.
We can always come back and add it. It's okay. It's totally fine.
Okay. Breath of Fire 3.
Breath of Fire 3, I haven't played.
I haven't played any of the Breath of Fire, so I can't
understand it's well liked, but I am not well versed enough with the Breath of Fire series. I wouldn't feel comfortable ranking it. If you feel strongly,
I think I am tentatively saying I think Breath of Fire 3 is a wonderful game. It is great. Whether we decide to keep it, I would say tentatively put it on our list, and we can bump it out if we need to.
We can always take it off.
If we can't,
and 3 is the one to choose. You think?
Yeah, I think 3 is the best of all of them.
Golden Sun.
Golden Sun, I think, yeah.
It's a simple JRPG.
I haven't played it, but I'm happy to keep it on here.
I mean, it is.
I know it's beloved and influential.
It's beloved, but it's very simple, right?
It is very simple.
If you compare it to some other ones, I think it has the Nintendo,
It'll be nice to have a Camelot game on here. I like Camelot as a developer. I think it'd be good to have.
And I want to have at least a really good handheld JRPG on this. And I think this is my favorite.
I wanted to mention.
Okay, this is one of my favorite, just all around, just fun JRPGs on a handheld. So we could keep it. We could,
we'll put it on here. So Ni no Kuni, I would say Ni no Thank You. Personally,
I don't need it on there personally.
Yeah,
I think it's cool they acknowledged it, but I don't know if it needs to be in our top 25.
Yeah,
I would not consider it a top 25 game personally. I wouldn't even. I like the second one more. I don't even think I'd consider the second one a top 25 game. So That's where I'm at.
I agree.
Lost Odyssey, I have not played. I'm one of those.
It looks cool though.
It does look cool.
It is a really good game.
Dallah's a fan.
It is a very, very good game. But I mean, that, you know,
is it a must play for JRPG fans?
Yes.
It's among the best. I mean, let's put it on the. I think then it goes on the list. Like,
yeah, I think it's a must play of just being like, you know, it is the Final Fantasy game we never got post. Yeah. You know,
right. I think if at least one of us has played a particular game and we feel strongly about it, then it should be considered.
I think so.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
So I think what we said when we got to Star Ocean, when we talked about it originally, is that it's probably a good idea to have a Star Ocean game, have a Tri-Ace game on here.
I think this one makes sense.
Second Story is the one that's generally accepted to be the best.
Yeah, I think Star Ocean, we need one, and I think Second Story is the best choice.
Now, Bravely Default 2.
I don't see it on this list personally.
Even the first game, I'm skeptical.
Even the first game.
Some Team Asano game might be cool to have on here, but I don't know if that's the one. Maybe Octopath Traveler, which we'll get to later, be more represented.
Yeah.
And again, like Live Alive, very cool, very great, probably pretty influential in Japan when it came out. But I don't know.
We don't think it's a must play.
I don't think it's
like only had to play 25 RPGs.
Yeah, it's not an all-timer. It's a some-timer.
Yeah. Like I would say, like, you know, since it is originally an SNES game, there are other SNES RPGs, JRPGs that I think would be better choice.
More deserving on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a Tails entry. I think having a Tails entry makes sense.
Yes.
Yep. I think so.
Like I said, I don't hate that Vesperia is their choice. I don't think it would be mine. I don't know. Emily, you said you haven't played any of them yet.
I'm not going to have a stake in here. You guys
okay, so Dalla, what do you think? Like I said, I lean more towards Grace's F. I think Abyss is a strong contender too. But
Abyss is good. I think I could probably go with your Grace's F. I think it is the epitome of a Tales game.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Kingdom Hearts, deserving. Yeah, we got to have a Kingdom Hearts, and
Kingdom
2
Hearts
is
2.
definitely the best.
Grandia 2. Do you want to swap this for Grandia 1 or keep 2? If you
I think I prefer Grandia 2 personally, but maybe we take a different tack with it. Like, what if we put a different Studio Alex game on here? We do like Lunar 2, Eternal Blue. Because I feel like
it's a better.
I don't know. It's very beloved. It's part of the
more strongly for that game. I think that makes sense.
I can get behind that.
Let's stick it
Lunar
on here
2.
for now, at least.
I'm always ready to like argue why Lunar 2 needs to be on the best games of all this. So
I have not played the Like a Dragon games yet, so I don't have a feeling about either Infinite Wealth or the
I only have very small tidbit of Like a Dragon, the first one, and I think it is worthy on this list as a whole.
Yeah, I think it's worthy. The first game, though, I haven't played the second game.
Like a Dragon.
Yeah, Like a Dragon. I think it is. Okay. It is
because
such a
I think
good
you also
game.
need that game in order to play Infinite Wealth. Like I know we skipped to Kingdom Hearts 2 over Kingdom Hearts 1, but
like my problem with like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is you also need to. I mean, you don't have to, but it is also recommended that you play Yakuza, like all the original Yakuza games because you have and so like. I would say
it's a lot of ask. And then I saw what you did there, Branden. You jumped the gun. But
I mean, of course, we're not gonna not have
no argues against
Xenogears. Thought I could sneak it by you.
No, there's no sneaking. That's like it's an obvious yes. If people know us, they know us. If you know, you know.
I do think we need Dragon Quest.
Dragon.
Dragon.
Okay, so Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door is the next on their list.
Yeah,
I have played this. I think it's a good game.
Yeah, it is a good game. I'd say it's the best of the Paper Mario games. Certainly. Certainly, I would even say.
I would probably put it better. I would have keep this even more so than Super Mario RPG.
You think this one is the better of the two?
I think it's the more interesting.
There's more things you could do, right?
Like
more creative.
There's more happening.
It's definitely more creative. There's a lot of cool things that happen. princess. There's a computer that falls in love with the princess, which
is
very cool.
Peach,
I agree with that. Like my preference is for the first game just because of the variety of characters. Like you're not this, you know, the 1,000-Year Door was after Miyamoto started his ridiculous rule of like, you can't create new characters for the Mario universe because I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know what I'm still doing here. Sorry, I know that's some serious Miyamoto disrespect, but he's lost a lot of shine in my eyes in the last like 10 years. I'm perfectly content though to leave Paper Mario 1,000-Year Door.
I think it's nice to have some GameCube rep too here.
That's true.
Good point. Yeah,
that is true.
Get a lot of love on the JRPG scene.
Octopath Traveler. Do you guys want to keep that?
I would.
I think the first one is the quintessential Team Asano.
Yeah, like that's the game that started it all. This like neo retro aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of crushed it right away.
It did.
Like I said, Octopath Traveler 2 is, I think, objectively
it's a better
from a gameplay perspective.
Yeah.
But the first one really just like established a sort of subgenre within, you know.
I agree.
It's a fun game. It's kind of grindy, but
it's well, 2's grindy too, though, right? I didn't.
That's the thing is like quality of life thing.
I like Octopath, but it's not my favorite. But that's just my opinion. Like, I know a lot of people like love Octopath Traveler, but like I just didn't like the way the story played out and how things are.
Yeah. And like triangle strategy is interesting. Yeah. From them, but I have qualms with that game too.
Yeah.
And there are better strategy RPGs, in my opinion.
Like if I were to choose, like, I know like we can't have multiple Final Fantasy games, but I'm saying like, you know, if we're gonna do like Final Fantasy Tactics instead of Octopath Traveler, or something like that. So like I don't know. We can.
Well, let's stick it here for now.
We could consider.
I would not kick and scream spin-offs. I would not kick and scream if it was removed. Trails in the Sky.
Remove it if you want later.
True.
Yeah, I think Trails in the Sky. It makes sense to put the first two here.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're great games. Even though we might have our preferences for some of the later in the series, I think this is just a foundational JRPG people should play. Especially with the remakes coming out.
I think these are the, you know, the epitome of the Trails series.
It's what got us into them.
Exactly. Like they're the perfect. It is such a good story, and okay.
Still and Joshua, they're great.
Exactly. Pokemon Gold, Silver.
I do not object to this. We could make it Crystal instead, but if we have a preference for Red and Blue or one of the later gens,
I mean, not really. I like, you know, Red and Blue is my like that's my like what I grew up with, but I'm good with making Crystal something.
We could do Crystal. Technically, I've never played Crystal, but you get to be a girl, I guess, in that game. It's the big thing.
That's it. That's the selling boat. That's why it gets to be on this list.
That's nice.
All right. Suikoden 2.
I would probably put Suikoden 2 on here.
Yeah.
Yep.
No objection.
For Konami representation. I know we've got Breath of Fire. Wait, Breath of Fire is Capcom, isn't it?
That's Capcom, yeah.
So yeah, this is all we really have as far as representation for Konami, right?
All right.
Yep.
Earthbound. Does Earthbound deserve to be on this list?
No. Yes.
I mean, I'm willing to make, if you want to make an argument about it.
The maniacal laugh was
so
good.
I don't think I count here.
I mean, I don't mind making an argument because, like, you could technically.
It's influential. I give it that for sure.
It's influential, but it is extremely grindy. I don't know.
I don't know if
it's charming. It's charming. I'll give it that.
I'll put it. It is extremely grindy. It is very old school. I mean, it is old school, right? It's like it's not like Octopath Traveler pretending to be old school. It like legit is. Yeah, well, we can talk about it. Yeah, Dragon Quest.
Yeah, I think having Dragon Quest. Oh, you don't want to put Dragon?
Dragoon.
Well, I want ours. Ours is the actual best list, so we have to clean up their
have the right
mistakes.
spelling here.
See, we know how to spell sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes. All right, so Metaphor. I'd say Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah, we kind of already.
I feel like that needs to be on.
But that's fine. Yeah.
We've already made that argument. Metaphor.
Unless you want Xenosaga instead.
No,
Xenosaga is not that good of a game.
In comparison to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 as a game, no,
it's not as good.
I love Xenosaga, but like
I love it too. It's not a great game.
It needs
from a gameplay perspective. It's pretty meh.
Yeah,
it needs some help if it comes back.
Metaphor.
We leave. We say bye-bye.
I'd say we remove it. Yeah.
I don't think it's. I think there's going to be a better version later.
It's too soon.
Then it could maybe be initiated into 25.
Yeah, wait your turn.
Yeah.
Metaphor.
Yes. Final Fantasy X. So do you want to change that up?
I think it should be 7.
I don't think it should be 10. I'm okay with either 6 or 7. What do you think, Dalla?
Ooh,
like 7's not my favorite, but like I like 12. I'm not going to suggest 12.
6 is my favorite, but I can say 7 being the most like
look at all the remakes, remasters, and it's just had a cultural shift, you know?
I will admit it is extremely hard for me to separate the extended Final Fantasy VII lore from the base Final Fantasy VII. Like, I love the world of Final Fantasy VII so much because of everything. The movies and the books and the remakes and the everything. Like, he's written so much lore. The first game is what made that possible. Right. Yeah. And that's true. Right. So the first game deserves a lot of credit for that. So,
I feel like Final Fantasy VII is a good choice. I think it's got a mixture of being a great like story, a game, and also being very influential. Like, and changing.
We need some polygons here.
Yeah, I mean, it like sold people on JRPGs. People got into JRPGs because of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. Persona 5 Royale.
So this is tricky. I do have a preference for 4 in terms of the story.
Too. Yes.
And the characters. I do think 5 is a better game overall.
Yes.
And Royal, I think, is the definitive form of that better game.
Yep.
So I would probably put 5 Royal on this list.
And I honestly think there'll be a Persona 4 Golden remaster. That
there will be definitely a remake.
Yeah. So it will change our
not remaster, remake.
Yeah.
Will maybe incorporate some things from 5 to make it an even better game.
Like 3 did. Yeah, I think that's the case. But for now,
I think it's fine.
And see how it goes.
I think it is the ultimate like version of playing a Persona game.
And then I'll put Chrono Trigger on here. I'm not going to not have it on a top 25 list.
Oh, it's definitely on the top 25.
I just don't know. I just don't know how I feel like in terms of it being number 1 or like I think it's definitely top 5 if I'm trying to be objective,
3 maybe.
Right? Definitely, even maybe top 3. I just don't know.
All right, so we have
about that later.
So we have
we need
have 20
games?
Right here. I think we have 20, right?
So 5 more games.
All right, so I'm thinking 5 more games from outside of this whole scenario.
We need a Fire Emblem.
We need a Fire Emblem.
How do you guys feel about like Radiant Historia?
I was thinking about it. Though, is that too... do we want Perfect Chronology or the first one?
Perfect
Chronology, probably.
Yeah, it's a better game.
I think it's better. Sure. Like, I've played a little bit of the original, but I did
For Fire Emblem, do we want the first Fire Emblem on the GBA Awakening? I haven't played Path of Radiance, so I can't speak for that.
I've only played 2 of them. I
do not want
I
to
really
play
liked.
Houses, sorry.
I did like what's it called, Echoes, but I know that's kind of a spin-off.
Echoes is my favorite, but I wouldn't necessarily put that in a definitive list.
Okay.
Awakening, shifted the whole franchise, and now it's more popular.
It did kind of reinvigorate it. That's there's an argument there.
Yeah.
And we need more 3DS games on this list.
I mean, I'm not like, angry about that. We can put. I love Awakening. So
yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah. So, So
that's 2 3DS games. We're already crushing these guys.
How
Nier
about
Automata?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Why is Nier Automata not on there? It didn't even occur to me that it wasn't, but holy crap.
All right. Hear me out.
That's weird.
Hear me out.
Huh?
Phantasy Star 4.
Okay.
No? You could do it. It's fine. I was just not hearing you out.
I think there's a conversation to be had there.
Emily.
It's definitely the peak of the Genesis RPG library.
Exactly. It is a great game.
That series was pretty groundbreaking in how it told its story for the time, using like the comic panels.
Yep.
There was nothing else like that. not even on Super Nintendo. So
and like
that was pretty cool.
And like we don't have any representation from like a Sega perspective, like a true like old school Sega perspective.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, and I would say if we were to choose, if we were going to choose a Sega like, you know, IP that is like is groundbreaking or like something that was very popular at the time, I think Phantasy Star is like a very big deal. For those in the JRPG space, Phantasy Star is pretty much like beloved.
Let's put it here and see how it goes.
And I think 4 is the best of the
4 is. I think it's one of those series where there's not really a lot of question. There's not a lot of debate. Like 4 is the best one.
But Terranigma.
You did allude to that earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, I do feel strongly that Terranigma is probably the best thing that Quintet ever did.
Yep. And it's a wonderful experience for those who aren't the JRPGs.
You guys have replayed it so many times too, so I think that speaks to how the quality, right?
Yeah, well, Dallah has. I've only played it fully once, but but I really, really liked it.
It is a wonderful game.
So any other franchises that haven't been?
I'm going to put it on here. Yeah, we're at 25, but I think we should keep thinking because these are just the next 5
that we some more, and then
because there's some things that we were unsure of that could maybe like knock things out. So
exactly.
So there's like
think of 5 more.
Okay, so like there's things like Legend of Dragoon that we talked about, like Dragoon in general, like Legend of Dragoon.
So if I were to put Legend of Dragoon.
Oh man, there's no E's here. I don't know if it necessarily is.
Ys 8 would be the one I would probably say.
Yeah,
I would probably say 8.
Yeah,
you'd probably say 8. Okay.
Now, okay. So
I would also say maybe 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, if you consider that a JRPG.
I think, like, I generally would for most arguments, but I think
in the context of this,
any reason we can have to like leave a game off of this list is probably good because then that's one less thing that we have to worry about sorting.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's a great game, though.
It is great.
But yes.
It is a great game. It's a story-wise. It's
and
a great
I think it's okay to have a hybrid JRPG on here.
It is. The gameplay though. The gameplay doesn't even feel like it's like a real-time strategy. You know what I mean? So I would almost call it like a visual novel RTS over. And I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because I have included it in JRPG-related videos myself. But like,
it's true.
Well, another Vanillaware title we could consider is Odin Sphere.
Odin Sphere, sure.
Odin Sphere, that's true. I wonder, Branden, I know we were talking about this earlier for Earthbound. Should we switch that to Mother 3?
Haven't played it.
They haven't played it, okay.
Haven't played it, so I can't say. But I do, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people would probably agree that it's better, but...
Yeah.
I think we could leave one game on here that's not like a fan translation, which is, well, it's not technically a fan translation, but like not a super accessible one. That could be Terranigma.
Yeah.
That's true. Trying to think, is there anything else I would add to this list right now from, let's say, from the SNES era? There is... No... PS1 era, PS2 era. There's a lot. We're not like.
I mean, in terms of big series, though.
I mean, I would say because like we've been talking about Wild Arms a lot, but I don't know if it's like one of the best RPGs of all time. I love it.
Yeah, and Shadow Hearts.
Ooh, Shadow Hearts Covenant.
Yeah.
I might want to make a case for that one.
I could see that.
Make a case, sir.
It's real good.
There it is.
There you
That's
go.
the case, guys. We're done.
That's it.
Number one.
Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe one more?
Yeah, if you guys can think of one more.
Oh, I know what we're missing here.
Oh.
A mana game.
Oh, sure.
Oh, the mana dude. You need to state your case for mana.
Legend of... I'm just kidding. I think if we were going to say the best mana game...
Trials of Mana?
I would say Trials of Mana is probably the most refined, the best of them. And you have your option of
too.
Yeah, you have your option of the remaster or the original like translated version that they did.
We didn't want to say Tactics, right, for Final Fantasy? Are you just going to try to stick to the one series?
I mean, I don't consider Final Fantasy Tactics part of the mainline.
It's not in mainline for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem.
I would put it over some of the ones that we've listed.
Yeah, I would put it over Octopath.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you guys, I don't know what you guys feel about that.
Nope.
Not Octopath choice, but I wouldn't object, honestly.
Yeah,
that would be fine by me. Well, technically, we have room on here for one more. So
one more. Then we'll narrow it down to 25. What else are we missing, though? I feel like there's a franchise.
Let me think. Okay, so not. I wouldn't say
maybe
Skies.
We don't have a ton of indie representation. What about something like Undertale?
I don't know if it should be on a JRPG list, though I know we've made a claim of why that's a JRPG.
I would say it is. I mean, like, it's a non-traditional combat system.
Well, then people ask, why is an Expedition 33 on here?
No.
Again, I think like I would put it on here.
I would.
I know, it's a little bit too recency bias, though.
Yeah. I want to, but
I'm trying to withhold.
It is one of my favorites now, but I still don't know.
We're trying to be responsible with our.
We don't have any Atelier games.
I'm going to list
I don't
responsibly.
Know if that needs to be on a.
I don't think Atelier fits
top
the
25.
Top 25 list. I think they're great games, but not like top games.
No.
Trying to think of what else there is. One Piece Odyssey. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Are there other indie games, like if we don't want to do Undertale, which I understand the tricky nature of that one, are there, because I'd love for there to be an indie game on here, because I think that there's been at least one indie JRPG that has been like.
We could, or we could also have another tactical game, which maybe Valkyria Chronicles might fit the bill for that. But
I mean, there's Chained Echoes, which is popular and a good game.
Echoes.
If it ever came out physically too.
I don't know if you necessarily need indie rep.
Yeah,
to be controversial here.
Oh,
we don't need what? Sorry, I missed what you said.
I don't know if you necessarily need indie rep just to be controversial here.
Emily doesn't care about
I'm not saying that we should do it just for controversy's sake. I just think that like.
Oh, no, I said I'm being controversial.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know.
There you have
there's been an indie game that has really, stood the test of time, if you will. As
I mean, that's like my biggest main
fear,
argument.
Yeah,
that's my main argument for Undertale. Is it's been out for quite a
while.
Say
10
years.
Undertale for sure.
Yeah,
I haven't played it, so I can't say, but.
I'm gonna stick it on here just because I feel like we should probably move on. And if it doesn't make the list, it doesn't make the list. That's okay.
That's fine. I'm okay with it.
From
all right, let's start
bottom to top.
Listen, let's start listing
top to bottom.
Let's get through it because we're already like.
Or should we just eliminate some?
Okay.
What should be on the chopping block?
Chopping block wise, I think we can remove.
So we need to get rid of 6 games.
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, there's good representation on this list, but yes. I would say I would be okay losing Octopath.
Octopath for sure.
Yeah,
it's very good, but there are better.
Yeah,
I have not played Legend of Dragoon.
I haven't
either.
I would.
So.
I'm okay with removing that. I think it's a great game, but I don't know.
I think it's beloved by its fans, but it's not. It doesn't have the mainstream sort of.
I like Odin Sphere, but I don't know if it's in the list of like top echelon.
It's also yeah. I don't know. It's kind of debatable. Like it's a side scroller. It's an action RPG, but
I mean, we have some action RPGs,
which I guess is fine. Yeah, there's action RPGs on here. But it's okay if we remove it, I guess. There's nothing. I mean,
move it away. Move it away from Xenogears. Like, don't put the mouse there.
Don't have the cursor.
No, don't do that. Don't you dare, Brandon. Okay, yeah, good. Thank you.
I underlined it.
Thank you. Let's see.
Yeah,
I keep looking at Undertale. Sorry.
We can remove Undertale. It's okay.
I think it's good to mention at least. Like all the ones that we are removing
I think it's honorable mentions.
That it's a contender.
Honorable mentions. Yeah,
honorable mentions.
it's worth consideration, but it's okay to not have it on the best of all time.
Yes.
So,
how many do we have left?
We have 28.
28. Okay.
So 3 more.
3 more.
3 more to kill.
I would say...
I don't like Final Fantasy Tactics personally. I wouldn't be sad if it was gone. But I know we don't have a lot of tactical representation on here either. But I also don't like tactical games that much. So
if
you still need to play Fire Emblem Awakening.
True. Yeah, Fire Emblem. Yeah, I guess I do. I like Fire Emblem, but the more tactics ogre style games, I'm just not. I've never connected with one. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if it comes down to it, we can remove it because of that we already have a Final Fantasy game in here. So
I'm kind of looking at Breath of Fire 3. I know a lot of people love it, but
yeah, having not played it myself, I don't have a problem removing it.
I do love that game, but
is there one that you love less on this list?
2 out of 3. I mean, probably.
We don't have to bully you because we haven't played it, so.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys will bully me no matter what, so that's not.
Yeah, it's a given. But like about this,
it is what it is.
To bully you about this specifically.
Well, if we wanted to get rid of, multiple series or games in the same series, like I think we could probably take off tactics.
From a story gameplay perspective, maybe Breath of Fire is over Trials of Mana, but I don't know.
Or Golden Sun. I know people.
But then Trials of Mana, I want to keep something Mana in there. Oh, Golden Sun.
We have a lot of Nintendo rep, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel better if we remove Golden Sun because we have added multiple handheld games. So let's, we can nix that, I guess.
It's an honorable mention. We don't think it's a bad game.
Honorable mention for sure. I mean, if it's on our rough draft list, it's definitely good. Definitely good.
Okay.
I still feel bad we don't have an SMT game, but oh well.
Yeah. We'll say Persona 5 is the rep for that series.
Sure.
Even though they dropped the SMT super title.
Yeah. I would say remove. You can remove
Fantasy
Tactics.
Star 4.
Final Fantasy Tactics if you want.
Tactics.
Yeah, as sad as it is to lose the Sega rep, I think if like Phantasy Star 4 is 26, like what if that's number 26 on the list?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of our imaginary.
I just don't hear people talk about it like fondly.
It hasn't had the staying power of some.
Yeah, unfortunately. I do love it though. It is a great game.
Revive Sega, the franchise, please.
Bring it back, Sega.
And not just a multiplayer thing.
Yeah, you've been starting to flirt with bringing things back. Let's keep it going. Let's do it. Skies of Arcadia while we're at it.
Yeah.
Never played it, so I'd.
Skies of Arcadia is a great game. I don't know if it's best game.
We didn't have level 5 on here either, but I don't know if that would make the top 25.
I don't believe in AI. I'm just kidding.
I'm talking pre-AI here.
Pre-AI. Who knows?
When they actually made games. It's like if they're just using AI to make all their games, why is it taking them so long to put them out?
I know.
Shouldn't the computer just be able to churn this stuff out?
Clearly it doesn't work.
That's what they thought when they did that first Direct a couple years ago. All these games.
We have all these things that we're going to build with AI.
The computer is just going to spit it out for us. And it didn't work? Okay.
That's too bad. So unfortunate. Okay. All right. Let's just go with this list. Let's figure out 25.
I think it'd be easiest to go top to bottom, which I know is maybe less interesting to hear from our viewers because usually you want to go bottom to top.
Number 1.
But I think it'll be easier for us to sort this, figure out our favorites, and then things kind of trickled into place.
All right. I think number 1 needs to be Xenogears. Let's just do that. Just put number 1 right next to Xenogears.
I do feel like for our list, we should all agree on one that we've played and think is the best one that we have all played.
Emily hasn't played.
Well, I think it's obvious which one that would be in that case.
Radiant Historia?
I was going to say our Trails rep here.
Trails.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not angry about that.
I have no qualms being like, I'm a Trails sicko.
I'm real messed up, guys. I just gotta have my Trails.
Even though this is the actual best JRPG list of all time, it's obviously with our spin.
It's our and we're the definitive voice. Sorry,
so
IGN.
If you don't like it, you can.
And then I would say Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger is a good. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Then I would say Xenogears. So those are our top 3 reps.
Yeah, I could say that. Yeah, Chrono Trigger.
Perfect.
Xenogears.
We did it, guys.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I know. I tried to get Xenogears. I tried to get Xenogears number 1, but maybe one day
we got to be conscious of, especially our audio listeners. Like the thinking about games is not compelling content. So
no,
this is true. All right, so 4. I'm gonna say. How about we do
Final Fantasy
7? Yes, I say Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 7, number 4. What do you know about that? That's my Jimmy Stewart. It's not very good.
You need to work a little bit on it.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Maybe
number 5. Boy, I would say number 5, probably Xenoblade.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
Yes. No, I'm going to do it. Let's do it.
Honestly, I was about to say the same thing.
I was literally going to say the same thing too. Are we crazy?
It's got to be in there in the top 5, certainly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just they're good games.
Yeah.
How about
number 6? Number 6.
I'm going to say.
I'm looking at Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology personally, but
I was feeling it. Yeah. Okay. Are you okay with that, Dalla?
Sure.
Okay. Because it is, you know what? It is very good.
It's a great game. It's one of my favorites.
Why don't more people play it? Well, because it's trapped on the 3DS. That's why more people don't play it. But
then
you got to play it, people. It's so good.
We need some sweet Terra Enigma love then.
Let's do Terra Enigma number 7. Is that cool with you, Emily? I know you haven't played it, but
you guys, I feel like I was kind of leading the helm with the top 5, so it's okay.
It's real good. Well, we've all played the top. Well, I mean, you played a bit of Chrono Trigger, but we've basically all played the top 5.
I'm hoping to finish it this month, actually.
Oh, really?
I decided to replay. But
on the DS, they're doing the DS version.
Yeah, the DS version.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
Now, okay, so I'm a little all over this. So I'm good with either. We can put. I'm tempted to say like Persona 5, Nier Automata, or there was like a third, or Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah,
let's do Dragon Quest.
Those 3 should be up next.
Yeah, let's do Dragon Quest. I think just for its importance and how good Dragon Quest 11 is.
It's so good.
I'm still upset by its mid-game credit rule, but
that's very dumb.
It lost some steam for me.
It is rough. It is rough.
It's a weird choice, that games feel like they need to do now.
Yeah, and I do agree.
I think technically, Nier Automata also has about 15 mid-game credit rolls.
I know.
Yeah, that's part of it.
But like, his whole thing is he's weird. So that's
That's his goal.
Yuji Hoari's thing is he's not weird. He's very traditional. So it's a strange choice to make for a
choice
for a Dragon Quest game.
Let's do Persona 5.
Okay, and then you said Persona 5 is the other one?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Okay.
Yeah, so
we got our top 10, guys. That's
look at us.
Crazy banana pants.
Okay.
Number 11.
11.
I like to say Fire Emblem. But
I'm happy to put Fire Emblem there for you.
Okay, we can do Fire Emblem.
I'm happy to put Fire Emblem there for you because I'm looking forward to playing it this year.
I'm tempted to say
Pokemon.
No, not Pokemon yet.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Shoot that down.
I can agree with Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, I can say Kingdom Hearts 2. And then maybe Lunar 2. Yeah.
Oh,
in my heart, it's Lunar 2.
Let's do it.
It's in my heart of hearts.
Oops.
Ease 8.
Ease rep.
I think Ease 8 needs to go
next. My restless dreams.
in my heart of hearts. Okay, number
I got to put the subtitle Lacrimosa
of Donna.
Diana.
Which I don't know if you can see back there. My figures.
Oh, yes, you got them. You got the
very
Donna.
Nice.
Yes. I love it.
I should move these over because we're on the back half.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
They bolded theirs weirdly so you could keep the 14 or something. Or does it really matter?
Yeah.
Wait, where did my Earthbound go? Oh, I didn't copy it.
It's missing an E. Yeah. 15.
15, I would say...
Like a Dragon?
No. There's still
Suikoden
better games
2?
before that. I say Suikoden 2, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Suikoden
then
2 comes in at number 15.
I feel like we need to throw Earthbound.
It can have a
Earthbound should probably be up,
16. You can throw it a bone at 16.
Yeah,
it's a great game. I would love for Shadow Hearts Covenant to be in the top 20, if that's okay.
Okay, put it there.
Fine.
Right here, 17.
Yeah, okay. At this point, it's like splitting hairs.
It is kind
a lot of it's they're interchangeable. Honestly,
yeah.
It's really the top 5. I think that you need to solidify maybe 10.
Yeah, top 10 for sure is like I feel good about those, and then the rest of them, it's kind of like these are all also great. Enjoy them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Maybe Lost Odyssey, because I remember you mentioning, Dalla, that it should be higher than how they have it at 21.
Where'd they have it? 21, yeah.
18. A little bit higher.
Yeah, Lost Odyssey number 18.
Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door?
Sure.
That works. Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door, 19.
And then Star Ocean?
Yeah, I could say Star Ocean. And then Tales of Graces.
Okay.
I'm fighting the Pokemon.
It's okay.
No, it's okay. No, you can put Pokemon wherever you want.
I can make my own list. It's all right.
I do love me some Pokemon.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna put Pokemon right here at 21. Sorry.
Perfect.
There it is.
That's good. That's fine. And you know what? You can just
Like a Dragon.
Like a Dragon.
Oops.
What are you doing, man? What are you
messing it all up?
You're going.
And I think it looks good as it is. Trials of Mana, Tales of Graces F, Breath of Fire.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, look at us forming this list so quickly.
Guys, we made a list.
No arguments here.
No arguments. Everybody's going to see this and accept it as
no complaints.
No
definitive,
anger.
Actual best JRPGs of all time.
Only best
list.
You know, I can't wait to see the comments.
There's not even any There's not even going to be any arguments about,
and then complain because they won't hear a reasoning at all.
Right. There's not even any etymological complaints to be made here because these are all actually made in Japan. So
that's true. We don't have 9 here. Final Fantasy 9.
Right. 9 is the Final Fantasy that would get us in trouble.
I mean, I do.
It would.
I do love 9. 9 is like one of my favorites.
And if someone does skip ahead, they'll say Dragon SP. So it's like Espanol.
How do you spell?
I think that's right. Dragon?
Dragon? What sounded out?
I think I may have misspelled it. Hang on. Dagron.
There, that's perfect. Queast. That sounds
Dagron Queast.
It makes me queasy just hearing it. It's terrible. But yeah, I'm pretty okay with this list. I mean, there's some things
it's not perfect, but no list is perfect, right?
Yeah.
And we mentioned how there's some games that they get like remakes, remasters, or if they, cook for a little bit, they might appear on this list in the future.
I think certainly there's some that I would be shocked if they weren't on here. Clair Obscure Expedition 33. I think 5 years from now, I will be more than comfortable. I suspect I'll be more than comfortable with putting it on a list like this.
It would be pretty
they
high
mentioned they
up.
want to do more, like DLC and stuff. It's really good.
I'm excited to see what they do with it. So that game right now is wonderful, but we wanted to hold off because it's
a little bit too new. Maybe we would reintroduce Metaphor Refantagio. Maybe.
Yeah, down the line,
yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, I was very much enjoying it as I was playing it, and then I got pulled off to play other things and have never gone back to it, but I will eventually.
Yeah, maybe we would reintroduce a SMT game.
I do like. I feel like for me, if this was my personal list, I feel like SMT3 would be like 26 or 27. It would still be pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My personal list, this would be slightly different, but it's fine.
Yeah. But that's what I think.
Our personal
forming
list.
These top 25 lists is fun, right?
Yeah.
No one has the same list.
Exactly. And doing it with other people when we haven't all played the exact same list of games, like that's interesting to hear other people's perspectives too, because like obviously I wouldn't have put Awakening on my list. I haven't played it. So it's interesting to see like, oh, that it has so much esteem for Emily that it's like in the top 15. Like that's significant, right?
Yeah.
So
100%.
Yeah.
So
in conclusion, do top 25 lists with your friends and then you will learn about their interests.
Exactly.
That's the takeaway.
If you can survive a top 25 list with your friends, then you can survive anything.
Yeah, then you've got a great, solid friendship there. So
you don't have to play Overcooked to test it out. Do one of these.
Speaking of which, we should probably add that on here. It's a JRPG, right?
Overcooked, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Number 1B. Overcooked.
It's just slightly better than Trails in the Sky.
Slightly better. I don't want to go crazy, but just a little bit.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, everybody, for hanging out with
everyone.
us. I hope you enjoyed this. It's a little bit different, a little bit of a different episode, but this was fun for us to do. And please, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel if you are not already. We really appreciate that. And consider becoming a member if you aren't. We really appreciate the support.
On Spotify or other audio platforms, consider leaving us a review.
Yeah, leave reviews and comments, and it just anything you can do like that just helps the show so much. Exactly. So thank you to all of you who have done that already. We really appreciate you.
We do.
And I guess that's it, right?
Yeah, I think this
is
good.
That's it for this week. And we'll have our after show for Pursuer level members airing.
Yeah, so stick around.
Sometime after this episode uploads.
Yes, so keep your eye out for that. Yeah. It will be fun. Almost guaranteed.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.